Anyway, what were you saying?
Let's see. I got to the point of talking about how many Joshes exist. Well, and that already was a tangent from broadly the idea of evangelism, and specifically um, going with Josh. Um,
Oh, right. I completely derailed everything.
I mean, I said that I flipped the lever and the trolley went off and ran over five Joshes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. The trolley problem.
Anyway, let me not derail this further. um, so yeah, I guess for the let's see, yeah. So the additional background context would be, I think last Tuesday, a couple of us were gonna go out and try to evangelize. It was Josh paired up with this guy Ethan that he hadn't been able to go with for a while, and then that left three of us, one guy who's pretty outgoing and two introverts, and then the guy who's outgoing had to catch his bus. So then it was just two introverts, and I think if
You're
I'm
talking about
ever,
yourself and someone else, or?
yep, yeah. So myself and this other girl, um, and um, yeah, I think if I am ever one of two introverts, chances are I am the less outgoing one. So the girl, her name is Kat. She was able to very briefly, basically compliment someone's shirt and have a brief exchange there. And um, let's see, I'm kind of skipping ahead a bit actually of the background context the because because meanwhile, well, when we were setting out, she was kind of emphasizing like, where is the spirit leading you? And I kind of just didn't know how to answer that because I'm so used to thinking like more on a like a basically logical level or like trying to think of a reason. I didn't really like. I think between that, between like kind of overthinking and then also not wanting to be like, yeah, God says this about something that could also just, or at least feel a bit like a feeling um, that. Well, anyway, I didn't really. I felt kind of. I didn't really know what to answer, and then so she just kind of kept asking, and I just kind of felt paralyzed, I think is how I, or powerless is how I, that night I described it to Josh because he was asking how it went. And so I kind of gave a little report because I wasn't able to bring myself to talk to someone. Um, and yeah, it was rough because I'm like, I was probably a bit hard on myself as I walked back to my dorm and sat there for about an hour. And to not relive that, um, well, fast forward to that night, um, and I was just talking to Josh for a bit because yeah, I felt, I mean, I felt like I had failed really because like, I mean, I didn't do anything. I s- stood around following someone else and not even contributing into the short conversation that did take place. And so, but Josh was very encouraging. We um, did a little phone call, um, and he was kind of like emphasizing like, you didn't feel fail. You realized where you get stuck, uh, and then there he was like, we'll go out you and me sometime and evangelize. And so fast forward to Thursday, and that did happen. It was um, the full group of us that was going to go out was myself, Josh, my roommate Eric, and then another guy named Josh that apparently um, Josh the we'll call the other Josh JC because apparently that's what Josh, who I'm gonna just call Josh, because I actually don't know his last name, so I don't know any other. Um, well, I could say Asian Josh, but um, uh, anyway, yeah. So there's the four of us. We kind of we let's see. Yeah, we went to, so there's like a breezeway, which I don't know if that's like a commonly understood term, but there was one
I
in
don't know
FBC
what it
Mel,
is.
and then there's one near the Union. It's basically the way where the breeze can go. It's like an open walkway is generally the
Oh,
idea I get. So like I think for I think for uh, FBC Mel, it's like the space between kind of like the well the old, I guess now, youth section, and then kind of like the old near the old worship center. I think like that walkway where it's open air, but it's also like a bit covered. Um,
oh, that.
I think
Okay.
that's because I remember one time I was confused. I didn't know what the Southern Breezeway was, and then I like went into near where the new worship center was, and there was someone there, and I was like, "Where do I go?" And he was like, "I think you go over to like the old youth area," which anyway, yeah. So that was the day I learned what a breezeway was, and then there's one so near the student union. I think it's called. It's named after some guy. But it's a little. There's a breezeway there. Some like restaurants and stuff. The bookstore. Yeah, just kind of an open but covered area. So we were sitting at one of the tables there. There was some kind of performance. I don't really know what the occasion was. I think it was called Day of Giving, and I probably got some emails about it that I promptly ignored the notifications of because I get so many emails. Um,
Yeah.
but then, so some of the like, not a marching band, I don't think, because I don't think they were marching, but there was brass. Um, that was the main thing. There was a band playing. I guess yeah, that's what it would be. It was a band, and so that performance, I guess, was kind of coming to a close as we were kind of trying to see where the Holy Spirit was leading us, what or like what we would do. Would it be evangelism or talking? And so we were kind of at a table, and then this one guy question mark walked by that Josh knew because he was and is kind of fading out of being a music major, and he's gonna switch to like interdisciplinary studies. And there's a bit of a well, like I guess kind of a story there that could be maybe rehashed, but I won't rehash it now. Anyway, he knows a bunch of the people, kind of, or no, yeah, he knows the people that were performing. So he was talking to this one, I think guy. Um, I'm not sure. It,
Oh, wasn't
I don't
there.
remember. Music majors. Um,
Ooh.
um, but yeah, someone with like a kidney issue, and so we prayed over. Ben was the name of the guy. So there was some kind of yeah, some kind of kidney issue, and so we got to pray over that guy. And then I think someone else walked past, and eventually we are like, okay, we are gonna go evangelize. Um, and so we started in the Union, and we talked to this one guy who was a Christian. Oh, my door is being knocked on. One moment. Gotta get up from my cords. Dustin, you're being kidnapped.
I'm being kidnapped?
Can you close your eyes? And,
Close my eyes?
Close your ears as well.
And my ears?
Come outside.
I'm
Yes.
Guys, I'm being kidnapped.
I said please for the record.
Oh.
Oh, my kidnappers are saying please for the record.
Yeah, I'm gonna like guide you out.
Please come with us.
Please, can I tie ropes around your wrists?
funny. But hey, illiterate doesn't mean stupid. It just
That
means
was a
illiterate.
solid 10 out of 10 kidnapping. I was kidnapped for a 26-day late birthday celebration. My roommate Anthony made it a brookie of sorts because he knew I liked.
What is that?
It's a brownie and a cookie, but one thing. Basically, a cookie on top of a
That's
brownie.
cool.
I've
And
had
so
that.
yeah, pretty peak.
Awesome, bro.
So
Wait.
W kidnapping.
Happy birthday.
Oh, I didn't even know, bro.
I
Oh
didn't
my
know
gosh,
either.
happy birthday. I had no idea.
I feel like we might have. Oh, creepers in the lawn.
Didn't this happen for my birthday as well?
I can't remember.
That's funny, because that's exactly what happened.
Wasn't it? Oh
Didn't
yeah, wait,
remember it.
yours was
And I
kind of
told
like.
you, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, it's crazy.
Well, I know yours is the 5th.
Yeah.
Although I do tend to lose track of calendar days.
I
I
don't
didn't
know what
realize
day it
that
is, and I
Sunday,
also
that
don't know your
yesterday.
birthday.
Oh, March 18th.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget that in 5 minutes. That's okay.
Cool.
You can't.
Me too.
Are you serious?
Just
Yours is
add
August,
13 to
right?
Matthew, you know? Do I not have
Yeah.
a ranged? I don't have a ranged weapon.
Wait, how did I
can't
do
get rid of the
that?
creepers on my lawn. They're just gonna be on my lawn for a bit.
You can do that? Are you kidding me? You could have done that this whole time.
What is it that you're discovering?
You can make it so you can like basically buffer these. Bro, what? It's
Are
so
you?
easy.
Oh, you went back to GD.
I
Yes.
did. Bro, I'm
This
mad
guy.
now.
Let me take. Oh my slaves put away my resources.
No.
Anyway, let's see. Okay, pre-kidnapping. I was about to. Oh yeah, so yeah, we prayed over the one guy. Somebody else came by. That was a shorter interaction, and then we went to the Union. Talked to a guy there that was Christian. I think his name was Noah. And I can't remember if we learned that he was connected to crew or not, but I think he had heard about it. So anyway, pretty cool guy. And then yeah, but then in the Union it was also loud. So then I think after that we went to the library. I know Josh and I went to the library. I can't remember if Eric and JC also did. But yeah, Josh and I were in the library. I was still kind of. What did I just. Oh, I started watching the stream.
My bad.
Oh, no, you're fine. What? It sounded a bit like the congregation song to me. Anyway.
Bro.
Library. Yeah, so I was still kind of like. I mean, I guess I am just not particularly outgoing, but I was still kind of like warming up to the process, I guess. Thawing out, I think I normally like to say. Takes a bit of conversation to thaw me out. And then, yeah, so we talked to. Oh, I do have. Wait, in a moment, I have a story. But first, there was someone else we talked to, I think. Or, well, Josh was just kind of. Josh is a very outgoing person. In case I didn't already establish that, he's a very outgoing person.
Yeah,
very
I
encouraging
mean,
person.
if he wasn't, then you would have mentioned him
Who's that?
as
Drian!
an introvert.
Drian, you're
before.
back!
Oh, Dream?
How do you buffer them then?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, hold on a second.
He-
Bro. Oh, yeah, I'm not screen check. Alright, I was. Something.
You were, and then you stopped for no reason.
I made them, like, it's not bufferable, but, like, the timing is, like five more frames. Like, it's crazy. You just hit the first one, like, really early. Like, I don't, like, look at my screen share, bro. And it also makes the yellow orb insanely free. Oh.
Oh, no drops. Okay. Where was I?
But it's still.
Oh yeah.
Should
Yeah, there were some brief conversations. I don't think any of they were relatively short, and then um, there's this one girl. I'm pretty sure someone that Josh knows, someone that actually initially hated Christians, and then has kind of come to feel bad about that because of Josh being, well, basically Josh being who he is. And so I guess apparently the name is Nico. Apparently she's like started praying, so that's pretty awesome.
Cool.
Oh.
So yeah, yeah, because there was, yeah, well, I guess I kind of already rehashed the story basically, but yeah, it was he had was kind of talking about her a little bit. I think one of the days, it was probably one of the Tuesdays, and then also one of the performances that some of us went to watch Josh do a little vocal performance. I think I also had seen her, and so I was like, oh, that's one of the people from the music performances, and so yeah, that was cool. At that point, I was like, basically what was going through. Well, I don't know if going through my mind is the right description, but like I was realizing even if I wasn't contributing a whole lot, it was nice to be able to just be a part of the conversation, and like I was not being so hard on myself at that point. Even though I did still, like, I mean, hadn't really been contributing much. I was still kind of doing my typical spectator role. But then I think maybe shortly after that, then Josh was gonna have me start, and then he remembered I don't know if I've mentioned the quest survey. If I've talked about doing evangelism, I probably have, because it's a really nice tool, because it gives me some way to just take the initiative, but not have to think of some good in. It's just, hey, you have time for a quick spiritual survey, so
I don't know if you have talked about that.
I could, let's see. Oh, phone in pocket, lovely. I think I know I have the image on my phone I could send in the chat to show you guys. Basically, it's like a little 5-question thing. Oh, this is gonna take a second, isn't it? I don't have, wait, no, the favorites should save. I think I favorited it at one point. Yep, perfect. Let me upload.
It's so bad.
I think I can upload. Oh, it's being.
Having fun over there?
Where's the favorites folder?
Is my SEO still audio? Is still audible? to
Yes.
my mic? Whoops.
Gang, you can't fix it. It's unfixable.
I turned on noise suppression. I thought that might help.
No, I didn't.
I'll just mute them.
It's genuinely unfixable.
Ooh. That scared the crap
Dude,
out
I
of me.
hate this.
Ooh.
Okay, it should
Hold
be
on, let me
going
get-
through.
Let
It's
me
not going
get
through very
started.
well on my
3
phone. But
words?
yeah.
That's hard.
I see it.
Okay, cool. That's what matters. So yeah, that's the one. Have I mentioned Levi? Because Levi is kind of, well, let's see. How much do I? There's a lot
Not
of
a lot
context I
about
could give. Okay, yeah. Anyway, last semester Levi and I would go, kind of every other week in like the back half of the semester, and that would be the tool usually, that we would go with. So, yeah, Josh had like a printed version, and so yeah, we went ahead and so then I was able to use that.
don't. Oh.
We talked to a girl who's Catholic, she kind of had the
Mhm.
whole like, because there's the wait, yeah, the third question is the one where I'm normally able to, where if I'm leading, I can just kind of ask follow-up questions. Chances are questions 4 and 5 end up happening a lot more implicitly. Um, but by that point, it's like, okay, we're in conversation. I I am able to launch off of the quest survey, and so um, because she answered like heaven or hell, because she mentioned she's like, oh, I'm Catholic, so they believe in like heaven and hell, and so I was kind of pressing on that, like, what's the deciding factor between those? And it was something basically works based that she was answering, um, and I was kind of trying to press that a little bit to see like, um, and then Josh was able to kind of bring in the gospel tie-in a little bit faster than I was going to. I was kind of maybe getting a bit, um, maybe losing a bit of direction in the
Sidetracked.
follow-up questions I was asking. But yeah, so that was interesting. And then he had another tool that has one of those like the like, I feel like prayer of salvation. While I don't really usually mean that term, while I don't consider that term to be particularly accurate, it is kind of how the prayer sometimes, or something to that effect, was in the back of this other
Wait,
like
what?
booklet tool
What
thing
was
where it's
the?
the. Oh, I might
What was the
actually
term?
have. Prayer of salvation is kind of what I call it, a
Okay.
bit sarcastically, is normally how I'll use the term, but it's also the best I can think. Or the sinner's prayer, I think, is kind of the
Oh
alternative.
yeah, yeah.
That's definitely a lot better of a name. I call it the prayer of salvation, somewhat sarcastically, but basically that. But like, it's not a bad prayer. Just the way that sometimes it's presented, um, mixed with the fact that we want to be responsible for good things and not responsible for bad things, combines into I basically thought I had checked a box, but that's kind of a different story. Um,
What?
huh? What?
How did the sinner's prayer get to chicken pox?
Oh no, I thought I had checked a box.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I
My bad.
I
Yeah.
Hey,
heard chicken pox and I was so confused.
Your confusion is warranted. Um,
Chicken pox? What does chicken pox have to do with this?
uh, what was I saying?
Anyways,
Oh yeah, but he was kind of, he showed like that prayer in the booklet and kind of asked like, is this a prayer you think you need in your life? And she was like, yeah. And so he kind of like walked her through it in a sense. So that was interesting. Um, and then the second conversation we had, um, a guy named Chris, chill guy, cool guy. Um, a bit of a sad story though. He kind of was basically grew up Christian, but then got to college and like sort of actively fell away. Like he he was saying that he had reached this point of like desperation of just wanting to feel something or feel some kind of assurance that he didn't really feel, and so and he said that when he like stopped telling himself that he believed, he felt a burden lifted off of him, and that was really rough to hear because like I mean, Josh commented we regrouped with some people afterwards, and Josh was like, "Man, hearing that, it's like that's got to be something demonic." And I mean, I it's rough. It's tough. I didn't really know what to do with that, quite honestly. But it's hard to like I
yeah.
don't even know. I I I,
I don't
I
know
guess
if I've I don't know if I've ever told you, but my aunt was is pretty much the same way.
Wow.
She grew up in a Christian household, very Christian. My grandparents on my dad's side are like they talk about it in every conversation they have. And
Mm.
it can kind of get annoying when they don't talk about anything else. But they're great people and I like talking about it with them. Anyways, that they're like super Christian and my aunt, she got to college, met my uncle. My uncle grew up um atheist. Oh my,
Oh no.
this is not good. I was right next to lava and the
Oh.
creeper
Oh.
literally fell on me like an atomic bomb. Well, anyways, like I was saying, she got to college, met my uncle. Uncle was atheist, and
Mm.
she's been agnostic ever since. I think that's how she says it. But
Mm.
we know from Romans 1 that
Right.
agnostics don't exist.
In a sense, yeah.
1711 1221. This is going to be frustrating, isn't it? Oh wow, he's very interested in that.
No way, my headphones just died.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh,